Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Fake. We can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mark It Down podcast. I am James Gisanti. It is Thursday night, so you know what that means. We are here to cover TNA Impact. Maybe, because the honest truth is it's starting to feel more like WWE NXT Impact. I'm definitely being a little hyperbolic. I am definitely, putting on the rain boots a little early. I'm getting ready to sound the alarm a little early, but that's on me. Don't follow my lead. Everybody remain calm. But a lot of NXT tonight on TNA, and for the most part, that's good. For the most part, I mean, we're seeing stars now show up. We're getting people like, in our title, Cora Jade. We're getting people like Wes Lee, Ariana Grace. We're getting top tier NXT, but I'm still not thrilled. It's really starting to feel more like these NXT people are coming in for reps. They're coming in for they're coming in to fine-tune things for themselves, which that's their part of the deal. I get that. I'm really waiting to see what the TNA end of the deal is. We're gonna get deeper into it. We're gonna get into everything, not just the NXT stuff. We're gonna get into the TNA stuff that happened tonight, the Impact stuff that happened tonight. But just it's happening. I'm nervous. When you hear rumors going around, and I try not to give rumors too much power, too much energy, because it's not really right. It's not really fair. But just a little weird with everything going on. Anyway, let's go with the top, not the top of the show, but we'll go with the headline, which was NXT star Cora Jade making her grand appearance and her big in-ring debut, at least as Cora Jade. We won't talk about the fact that she was in TNA before as someone else. Pre-developmental. But we see Cora Jade earlier today strolling through the halls of the Impact Zone, where she is greeted by Xia Brookside. Xia, who tries to give, I guess, like a welcome wagon, like a warm welcome to Cora, where I'm just going through my notes. She says, I've been where you've been. I came from where you came from. But Cora Jade definitely big-timed her. Cora Jade definitely showing that I'm too good to be here energy. And it works for someone like Cora Jade because, quite frankly, she thinks she's too good for NXT. She thinks she's too good for anywhere she goes. But not a great vibe. I don't know. I'm definitely being overly protective. I'm definitely being defensive. But when you have someone from the bigger brand, which NXT is the bigger brand, coming in and big timing the TNA stars, and then going on to do what she does next, it's a little rough. But the conversation goes that Cora is only looking for Masha Slamovich, and because Xia Brookside isn't Masha Slamovich, she doesn't have much to say to her. So she just leaves. Security gets in the way of them before things could really escalate. But Cora immediately bringing the aura that kids talk about, the vibe that these kids today are talking about. Man, I'm old. We then go to her matchup right afterwards, where Cora Jade took on Hyan. Hyan, who is definitely, she's plucky, I'll give you that, but she definitely has enhancement talent written all over her. This is a quick match. Hyan does get some offense in, but this is Cora's match to win, and she does, finishing with a Jaded, which is a double arm DDT. Man, a lot of people are hitting the double arm DDT lately. Obviously, you have Mox here in TNA. We have Steve Macklin, NXT, Cora Jade. A lot of people hitting that move, but it looks good. So who am I to say anything? Cora getting the win over Hyan, and then starts a beatdown after the match. This brings out Xia Brookside to make the save and to ward off Cora Jade, so you would think. But after Cora left the ring, Xia goes to check on Hyan, and Cora comes back, hits a Jaded onto Xia Brookside, and then gets ready to continue the assault when the NXT... Oh, Jesus, I'm doing it myself now. The Knockouts World Champion, Masha Slamovich, comes to make the save, driving Cora Jade away. Look, I hope Xia is a good filler feud, because I don't want them immediately going into Cora versus Masha, although it feels inevitable that that's going to be the next pay-per-view match. But I'm not going to be thrilled if Masha loses the title to Cora. I'm really not going to be okay with it. Just because Masha just won it, and it feels like she hasn't had a moment to really bask in this title reign. She had a great feud with Rosemary. She had a great match with Rosemary, but it feels like there's so much more that you could do with this title reign, and it's going to be a bummer if she loses it so quickly to Cora Jade. But time will tell. I'm not the booker. I'm not Nosferatu. I can't predict the future. 2 people are going to get that joke. 2 people. And this is for you, so thank you. We're going to go back now to the beginning of the show, where we had the Nemeth brothers in the ring. Well, if we're going to be honest, it was Nick Nemeth who started the show. Nick talking about Genesis, the former TNA World Heavyweight Champion, having lost that title to Joe Hendry. I can't clap right now. Sorry, guys. At Genesis, saying that Genesis was a hell of a night for TNA, but it wasn't a great night for him. He makes no excuses. He says Joe Hendry was the better man, and now Joe Hendry is our TNA champion. But this isn't meant to be a sob story. He's been in this business a long time, and he knows in 2025 what his plans are. He's getting ready to go for the TNA World Championship again. But as he's going through the spiel, as he's going through his shtick, he's interrupted by younger brother Ryan. Ryan loudly cutting off his brother, saying that my brother is not happy with what happened at TNA Genesis. He says that Nick got robbed and that Hendry got lucky. That's not sportsmanlike. Ryan then goes on to call Hendry a loser, a poser, and a 2-pump chump. What? He tells Nick that he's better than him, even if he's too modest to say it himself. He says that 2025 will be Nick's year, and he calls Hendry a fraud. Nick stops him. He thanks him for the kind words, but again, he insists Hendry earned the win in the title. He said, it's not all doom and gloom. This is going to be a big year for both of them, and they could maybe go for the tag titles together. He's Interrupted, though, by Casey Navarro and Top Dollar AJ Francis. Navarro does a really obnoxious "pardon me" like several times. It's I don't think he was riffing off of the "excuse me" from Vicky, but it feels like a thing he's trying to get over. Maybe we'll see, but it was annoying. It worked. Sorry about that. Not sure if you hear that outside. Francis then goes on to say, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is, he didn't continue it, but we got it. He says he's not there to talk to Ryan, and he hopes Ryan doesn't take to heart what he's about to say, but he's here to talk to the Nemeth brother that actually matters. He then goes into rip Nick's plans to go for the world title again. He goes on and says that Papa's got a brand new bag. He's just really all over the music references. He says it's a new era in TNA, and it's TNAJ Francis era. Ryan yells back saying that his brother doesn't deserve to be interrupted. His brother demands respect. And Nick goes on to tell First Class he doesn't know who they think they are, but Ryan cuts him off and says that they are going to fight them tonight. This brings out the TNA Director of Authority, Santino Marella, and he announces that the match will main event tonight. Nick looking slightly, I guess, annoyed that he didn't get to talk to his brother about it more, but that's the match. Afterwards, we go backstage where Mean Gia Miller, the hardest working woman in TNA, is interviewing Ariana Grace of NXT, the liaison between NXT and TNA. Before much can be said, Tessa Blanchard walks through and interrupts. Ariana tries introducing herself, but Blanchard tells her she doesn't get to tell her what to do. And Ariana's trying to smooth things over, saying they're on the same team. When Tessa blasts her, saying, we are not on the same team. Go ahead and go. She's just playing dress up and has everything handed to her by her father, unlike herself, Tessa, who's earned everything she's ever gotten. Huh. We're delusional now. Of all the things that we are, we're delusional now. Interesting character choice. This sends Ariana off crying, and Tessa says, that's right, go. She then tells Gia, who tried starting a conversation with her, that she's not needed. She grabs the microphone and sends her packing, and Tessa says she answers to nobody. It's pretty soon. Nobody's going to be answering your calls, Tessa. We'll see. Let's see how long you keep on the straight and narrow. The next segment was the Cora Jade segment, but obviously we covered that. So we're going to go elsewhere backstage where Wesley is being interviewed by Mean Gia Miller. Wesley guesses the question is why, in reference to his actions towards his former partners, the Rascals. He talks about his goal of being NXT champion and mentions how his partners, Tyreek and Tyson, are after tag team gold themselves. I'm not sure if I mentioned they were with him. Wes then says it all starts tonight when he takes out the resident magician that you all have, Ace Austin. I thought that was pretty funny. The three all walk off, but not before saying it doesn't matter where they are, they're gonna rack up wins. I don't know how I feel about heel Wesley. I feel like there's so much more with him as a babyface, but it's working for him. This group behind him definitely makes him look more intimidating. The different look, he changed his hair up a bit. I don't know if I'm imagining it, but he certainly looks bulkier. I'm rooting for him. So we'll see. And this matchup later tonight was the one I was most excited for the night. We then go elsewhere backstage. Shocker. I guess one of those nights, as we have our elegance. That's right, Ash and Heather, accompanied by the concierge, the Iceman, where they serve Santino Marella papers. They say that they called the lawyers, which is, I guess, going to be their thing. They complain about the tag team title match from Genesis that they lost, saying that the referee's incompetence is what cost them, and they want a rematch. Santino tells them to relax and announces a battle royal for next week where the winner earns a Knockouts title bout. He says they are both in it, and as are the two who walk up, Spitfire, the Knockouts tag team champions. Danny Luna and Jody Threat talk trash and get under the skin of the Elegant Duo, while also being set for the matchup themselves. I know I'm the minority on this, guys. I don't really care. I'm rooting for Elegance to take those tag titles. I'm fine that they didn't win it on the first try. They could go, but they should win it on the second try. They just should. Moving on to what was a very fun matchup, more fun than I expected it to be. We had Brian Myers of the System taking on Leon Slater. Guys, Leon Slater is I don't want to sound corny. I don't want to sound cliche, but Leon Slater is legit. This kid is showing up every time he comes out. He is showing that he's got it. And personally, I think this matchup tonight was one of those take note matches. Of course, taking on Brian Myers of the System means he's taking on all of the System, as ringside had every member of the System: Moose, JDC, Eddie Edwards, and of course, Alicia Edwards. This kid took them all on. It's almost impossible for me to go through every high-flying maneuver that he hit, but he was out of the ring hitting topes. He was diving through the ropes. He was hitting 619s on the outside. He was doing everything he could to keep the System at bay. Eventually, though, the numbers, the distractions were too much. As the referee was distracted, Alicia Edwards handed Brian Myers a championship ring, one of their championship rings. He then takes it, decks Leon in the face, and then hits him with the most professional clothesline. Or, no, I'm sorry. I think it's the roster cut. That's my bad. Yeah, it was the roster cut clothesline. They're really investing in this kid, in my opinion. The way they are presenting him, the way they're setting him up, I wouldn't hate it if eventually, not right away, I wouldn't hate it if he's the one to take the X Division title off of Moose. Just excellent showing. We then go, after this matchup, we go backstage where we see something from last week as we are given a little more insight into the number 23 bit that's been happening. Last week, the big reveal for the number 23, what it was that it was Steph DeLander, who has won the Digital Media Championship from her ex-husband in the divorce. And defending her in that Digital Media Championship is her new boyfriend, Mance Warner. They're hyping themselves up. They're talking to the crowd. They're talking to the Impact Zone when they are jumped by Sami Callihan, who was attacked by Mance Warner last week. It was just a sudden attack. It was a sudden beating. It was very quick, and then we cut to commercial. Logic would dictate the next segment would follow up on that, but it didn't. As we go to backstage this week, following up the last matchup. God, that's just messy. Anyway, we go to Leon Slater, who is being not confronted, but being addressed by Frankie Kazarian, who's sort of been courting Leon Slater for a little bit, wanting him to, I guess, be his young boy, carry his trophy, learn some things from him, and Leon has made it clear many times over he doesn't want to. This brings on the System, who said that they were testing Leon tonight, and he passed. They would love for him to be their errand boy. He could go grab their bags, he could carry their rings, whatever it may be. Alicia even suggests maybe he becomes their secretary. All of this mocking, all of this ribbing brings the Hardys, who come to Leon Slater's aid. They said that the GOATs are here to back him up, and next week we have it, the Hardys and Leon Slater taking on the System in the merry-go-round that just never, ever ends. The System going for those tag titles. I'm here for it. The Hardys love working with young talent, especially these later years. They really, really enjoy teaming with younger talent and taking them under their wing. In AEW, it was Private Party. Here, it might be Leon Slater. We saw it a little bit with Ace Austin. We saw it a little bit with Chris Bay and the Rascals, but I think Slater could really fit them. Slater's finisher is a 450 Swanton, which if you're having trouble visualizing it, go look at it because it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So that'll be a match to look forward to for next week. But dealing with the fallout from last week, we see a brawl happening now in the Impact Zone as Sami Callihan and Mance Warner, I guess, have been brawling for a week straight. It doesn't make sense that they should have just said we were seeing them for the first time tonight. Sami jumps him ahead of time. Whatever. I don't want to be rude. It was silly. It was a silly way to do it. And it was even sillier to be interrupted with the Leon Slater segment, which was a good segment. I'm glad it happened. It just should have happened maybe after. Whatever. The two men are brawling. They're going through the crowd. They eventually find their way into the ring. Sami is getting ready to blast him with a chair when out comes Steph DeLander with the Digital Media Championship. She slides it into the ring. Sami grabs her by the hair and tries pulling her up into the ring, but Mance hits him with the championship. Steph holds on to him in the ring, allowing Mance to hit a running knee, and the hot couple just make out passionately while holding the Digital Media Championship right in the middle of the ring. Okay. Okay. It was good. It felt very weird how we got there. I don't know. Felt a little weird. After this, we go backstage again, where we see Steve Maclin talking to Eric Young. Maclin has his bag packed and he's holding it. He's getting ready to leave, saying that he's warned Eric. He doesn't want to see what's about to happen to Eric Young happen. He's going to go and just know that he warned him. He says he doesn't want to be the guy to say, I told you so. Eric says that he's been in this business for 30 years and he has a good feeling about Josh Alexander. He also tells him that he'll be fine. We then go back to the ring for some X Division action. Maybe? I don't know. At the very least, it was very high-flying action. As we had Mustafa Ali take on Laredo Kid. This was a banger of a match. I think arguably the best match of the night. Ali and Laredo Kid whacking the shit out of each other. Just absolutely smacking each other up and down. Chest chops that were loud. High-flying maneuvers, counters, everything you could imagine. This was a great matchup. This is the match of the night to go back and watch. I always tell you guys which match has my stamp of approval. This is the one. Ali fitting back into TNA like a glove, like he never left. Just an excellent showing. Laredo Kid being a great opponent for him to go up against. The finish coming after Ali hits a 450 splash. 1, 2, 3, and the campaign of Mustafa Ali continues. Afterwards, we go backstage and see this is how you do it. Promo match promo, like follow it up. Ali cuts a promo backstage saying that this is a successful start to the campaign and it's going to continue and it's just the greatness will happen from city to city. And he is interrupted by Mike Santana. Santana asks him if they have a problem, and Ali tries getting in the way. They were a second too late there, but they try getting in the way, and Ali tells them it's okay. Mustafa says that they don't have any problem. He's confused why Santana's upset, and Santana says that they can handle this like men after the disrespect that Ali showed him last week when he returned to TNA. Ali said that he just had a grueling match, but he thinks he knows of a supporter of his who is always ready. Okay. It didn't happen tonight, but expect Mike Santana and Matt Cardona, I guess, in a week or two. Nothing against it. It just, I've seen that match already. It was a House of Glory World Championship match, but I guess I'm just spoiled. That's on me. That's on me. My bad, guys. If you're a TNA only fan or an only TV fan, this will be a first-time matchup, I think, and it'll be exciting. So that'll be cool. We then go into our tag team match as the Northern Armory, Judas Icarus and Travis Williams take on their former leader, Josh Alexander and Eric Young. There was an air of mystery into this matchup. Can you trust Josh Alexander? Is he lying? Is this a trap? Is he honest and remorseful? Where is Josh's head at? The match itself was fine. We saw the Walking Weapon do a lot of his usual shtick. He looks like a powerhouse, especially against these two young guys. And I got to give it to commentary. I got to give it to Hannafin. I got to give it to Raywald, who we kind of all know this is the end of the run for Josh Alexander in TNA. We're all expecting him to leave sooner than later. His contract's rumored to be up February, I think, mid-February or March. And they did such a great job of hyping up all Josh has done for TNA that he basically carried the company, in Tom Hannafin's words, for the last 6 years, having the longest reigning TNA World Championship run in company history, having the longest reigning TNA tag title run in company history, two-time tag champ, two-time world champ, X Division champ, talking about everything he's done. And it's true. It's going to be really weird when Josh leaves. If he does really leave, which it sounds like he will. But he's more than earned whatever opportunities come his way. We wish him the best, obviously, but it's going to be weird. It's definitely going to be weird. As the match is continuing, Josh is doing a good job of keeping him down. Eventually, Josh makes the tag for Young to hit the ring, turn around, and just knock the hell out of Josh. The crowd was shocked. Commentary was shocked. Nobody knew what to expect here. I'll be honest. I wasn't expecting it. Maybe I should have. I guess I've just been really digging Eric Young and Steve Macklin that I didn't have my eye open to the possibility of something else. But wow. He went full monster horror movie villain here. Just scary. Williams and Icarus hit their tag finish on Josh. Young then hits a pile driver on him, and Josh is left laying in the middle of the ring. No support, no friends, no nothing. And I guess Eric Young is now the leader of the Northern Armory. It still works. He's Canadian. It could still be the Northern Armory. It's just I was not expecting this. It's gonna be weird to see Josh Alexander teaming up with Steve Macklin, because that's where this is gonna go. We're gonna get them teaming up, and they're gonna lead, like Josh is gonna part with respect from Macklin and vice versa. But it's gonna be weird to see. It's really gonna be weird to see. Moving on to what was, like I said, what I was expecting to be my match of the night, and the match I was most excited for, as Ace Austin took on NXT's Wes Lee, who did not have his guys with him. The match was fine. Like I didn't hate it. I didn't love it though. There were some nice spots. Like I said, there were some topes. There was some fast-paced action here and there, but I don't know. I feel like it never really hit the gear that it should have. The finish coming as Ace is getting ready to hit the fold onto Wes, bringing out Tyson and Tyreek. This distraction allows Austin to just make a misstep. He goes after both of them, eventually sending Wes Lee out with them. He then hits a giant dive over the ropes to the outside. As he's getting ready to hit a move into the ring, Wes is keeping the ref distracted. Tyson and Tyree continue with the distraction. And then as Austin is getting into the ring, he is blasted with Wes's springboard overhead kick. 1, 2, 3. Wesley has beaten Ace Austin. At this point, the trio just begin to attack Austin, and out comes the Rascals to make the save. It was only a matter of time. We knew they were going to clash again. And quite frankly, it's really cool to see Ace Austin teaming with the Rascals. He and Chris Bay had some epic battles with the Rascals in the past, with Bay unfortunately on the shelf for a long time. It's cool to see that rivalry turn into camaraderie. So cool after match segment. I'm hoping that these tag matches are a little bit better. I think this is Ace's, only misstep recently. And I don't even know if I blame Ace. I don't necessarily blame Wes either, because we know how he can go too. But yeah, the crowd was not into this, and I get it, but a little bit of a bummer. We then go to a quick message from our world champion, Joe Hendry. I'm going to try it. Sling and all. Joe Hendry announces that next week he is going to have a Joe Hendry concert. And he says you never know what to expect from a Joe Hendry concert. And boy, is that true. We then go to our main event, as we have First Class, AJ Francis and KC Navarro take on the Nemeth brothers, Nick and Ryan. I thought this was good. I thought this was a fun one. I think it was all right. I am just enamored with KC Navarro, who I think time and time again is just continuing to shine. And I think AJ Francis isn't getting his flowers the way he deserves them. Not really much to say about this match. Nick did most of the work, I think. Ryan coming in for the hot tag. I'm sorry. Opposite. Ryan was taking a good amount of the beating, and Nick came in for the hot tag. He comes in with a ton of energy. He hits the multiple, I think it was like 10 elbow drops, the heart attack elbow drops onto Navarro. That brought Francis in. At this point, Ryan also comes back in to keep Francis off of him. Navarro surprised Nick with a roll-up, but only got the 2 count. KC then blasts Nick with a big super kick for another close pin attempt, but again, only a 2. Nick fights back, hits a famouser on Navarro. At this point, Ryan tags himself in just as Nick hits a danger zone, the zigzag for the uninitiated. And Ryan steals the pin from his brother onto KC Navarro. Commentary said a win's a win. Doesn't really matter how you get there, but you could tell Nick was a little put off by it, but happy for his brother, who was selling it like they did win the tag team titles. So interesting developments. We're definitely going to see the split sooner than later. But it was announced, breaking news, the Nemeth brothers on next week's Impact are going to challenge Fraxium, NXT's Fraxium, Axiom and Nathan Frazier for the NXT tag team titles. Do I think the Nemeth brothers are going to win? No. I think Fraxium's going to win, and I think we're going to see the split either actually happen between the Nemeth brothers or really deepen between the Nemeth brothers. But the thought that Nick Nemeth might win another NXT title in 2025 feels kind of crazy. Just kind of crazy. So we'll see. Something very much to look forward to. Next week's Impact looks to be stacked. I'm very excited to go over it. I'm very excited to watch it with you guys and to cover it. And we'll definitely get there. But guys, that was Impact tonight. I thought tonight's show was all right. Very promo heavy. Sometimes it tends to happen on these 2-episode tapings that I think they definitely did. But next week is definitely going to knock our socks off. Until then, you can see us this Saturday as we're going to cover WWE's Royal Rumble here on the pod. We might be doing a giveaway. We'll see tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted. And who knows? There's some rumors that we might see an NXT star or two. Jesus Christ, I really am doing it. We might see a TNA star or two in the Rumble or Rumbles. So we shall see. But guys, I am James Gisanti. This is the Mark It Down podcast. And on Thursdays, this is the Gym Packed Zone. So thank you so much for joining me here. If you're new and you're watching for the first time, thank you. Hit that like button, hit that follow button. Join the party. We're having lots of fun. We have cookies and autographs from time to time. If you're a regular, thank you so much for checking us out. We love you. We really love you. And if you want more of us, check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, TikTok. I think that's all of them. I think that's all of them. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm James Gisanti. This is the Mark It Down podcast. As always, watch wrestling and, of course, watch TNA. Good night.